Today, I'll be sharing the lore of Squirrel Girl's second chapter, BFFFF. Can you believe it, Tippy? Squirrel Girl asked. We were invited to the Hellfire Gala. It's like the most important event of the year. Whatever year this is. Just a few days ago, back in 2025, Squirrel Girl was fighting Dracula with so many heroes by her side. But now, she and Tippy Toe, her squirrel friend, are in a completely different chronoverse. Specifically, the 2099 one, which has Krakoa. After the fight against Dracula, they deserved a spectacular vacation. Doreen Green tells Tippy that many others would be dressed up in fancy clothing, but that's not her style. So she wore more casual clothes. And Tippy Toe was going to chirp in agreement, but she let out a squeal of horror as a beast dog ran down the beach at the pair. No! Bad werewolf! Our friend Rocket yelled at the alien dog to stop chasing Tippy. Rocket apologizes to Doreen and Tippy and introduces his werewolf as the amazing baby. Squirrel Girl says, "It's not a problem. Tippy was just a bit freaked out. And who can blame him? After what we've been through back in New York, we all deserve a break from being bitten at by monsters." "Mrrr," a loud voice exclaimed right on cue. The heroes turned to see a large creature jumping out of the ocean. Tippy Toe and the amazing baby ran off into the jungles of Krakoa, but Rocket and Doreen welcomed Jeff the land shark as he skipped towards them happily. "Mrrr," Jeff said as he landed between the two heroes. "Well, I'm happy to see you too, Jeffy, though you did scare off our little friends." "We should probably go find them before they get into trouble," Rocket said. "How about you take the lead, Jeff?" With his superior smell, Jeff was able to track them through the woods quite well. After several minutes, the three of them entered a clearing and saw their friends. "There you are, Tippy! I was worried you'd gotten lost or eaten, or..." Squirrel Girl paused as she saw the two friends were staring at a heartbreaking sight. In the center of the clearing was her mutant ally, Psylocke, kneeling on the ground. In her arms, she cradled the body of what looked to be a very old wolf. It was clear the wolf was close to the end of its days. "Are you okay, Psy?" she said, putting a hand on Psylocke's shoulder. "I am, but Logan is not." Doreen was confused. She immediately thought of Wolverine when she heard that name, but she quickly realized that that must be the name of Psylocke's lupine friend. "He was my best friend and most loyal companion. Back in the world I came from, we hunted Oni side by side. When the Collector ripped me from my timeline, I thought I'd never see him again, but it seems Logan never gave up. I can see it in his memories. He chased some man in red to find me through time and space. Eventually, he picked up my scent and followed me to Krakoa." "By the shape he's in, it looks like the poor thing took centuries to find you," Rocket said. "It did. His healing factor kept him alive, but even his body has its limits." "You mean, he's..." Squirrel Girl's voice trembled. She couldn't finish her thought before tears began streaming down her cheeks. "Now that Logan has finally found me, his mission is complete. His long journey has come to an end. It is time for him to rest." Jeff approached Psylocke and gently nuzzled her, showing his dear friend some much-needed support. "A little rest is fine and dandy," Rocket began, trying to keep composed. "But I ain't gonna sit here and watch you lose a friend. There's gotta be something we can do." Squirrel Girl had an idea and explained it well. When she's not busy saving people, she studies computer science at Empire State University. And last semester, she wrote a paper on how real memories of living creatures could be digitally stored and downloaded into a new body. She found a Daily Bugle article by Ben Urich that claimed the citizens of Krakoa were already applying a similar process to make themselves nearly immortal. "The resurrection protocols," Psylocke says quietly. "Magneto has spoken of them, but they are reserved only for mutants." "Yeah, well, the computers at ESU are reserved only for students doing homework, but that never stopped Tippy Toe from playing solitaire on them." "The game you are playing is far beyond your scope of understanding." They turned to see Emma Frost entering the clearing in a luxurious gown with glittering diamond skin. "Try us," Rocket said. "We may not look all sophisticated like you, lady, but when it comes to tech, there ain't no one in the galaxy who can keep up with me." They plea for Emma's grace, and in a rare moment of compassion, she gives her approval with one request. Emma explains that they need to be careful. Now that there are alternate versions of mutants from different chronoverses, they have started to be extra meticulous about the filing of memory storage. They want to avoid letting loose a wolf with the personality of Wolverine during the Hellfire Gala. Squirrel Girl promises to be careful, and Emma says, "Then you have my blessing. But let's go already before I change my mind." As Emma turned to exit the clearing, she put a hand to her temple and exited diamond form. She used her telepathic abilities, and suddenly Squirrel Girl, Rocket, Jeff, and Psylocke all knew exactly where to go. Squirrel Girl and Tippy-Toe accompanied Emma to the cradle, where Emma would initiate a telepathic upload of Logan's memories into the system network, as Squirrel Girl created an algorithm to route the data to the proper partition. Meanwhile, Rocket and Amazing Baby found Groot and led him to the Grove, where he could have a plant-to-plant chat with Krakoa about using its seedlings. Seedlings are tiny Krakoan creatures that have absorbed traces of the powers of mutants lost to the time stream entanglement. These seedlings would bend the resurrection protocols and grow a special non-mutant body for the lupine Logan. Finally, Jeff stayed with Psylocke to comfort her as Logan transitioned from one life to the next. As everyone left the clearing, Psylocke called to them. Where I come from, there are animal spirits known as Shugori. I have forged many friendships with these majestic guardians. I am glad to count you among them. We may come from different worlds, but we are now family. That means Logan is family too, Psylocke, and we won't let him or you down. Later that night, during the Hellfire Gala, Psylocke was waiting on the beach with a heavy heart, uncertain if her friend's efforts had worked. Suddenly, she hears a commotion on the dance floor. Jeff rushed through the crowd, followed by Tippy-Toe, Rocket, and the Amazing Baby. To Psylocke's delight, Logan was shortly behind them, sprinting to his friend. The wolf looked just as young as he did before the Collector took Psylocke away. As they watched the reunion, Rocket walked up to Squirrel Girl with a smile. What do you know? We did it. We sure did, buddy. We make a pretty good team. Too bad we already got partners. True, Rocket said as he gestured towards the dance floor, but I'm sure they wouldn't mind if we switched things up for one dance. Not in those outfits, Emma Frost said sternly as she passed by. The two of them looked down at their outfits and noticed just how out of place they looked amongst the exquisitely dressed guests. How about we just party down at the beach instead, Squirrel Girl says. Sounds like a plan. I've never been much for a fancy shindig anyway. Tippy-Toe, Amazing Baby, and Jeff joined Rocket and Squirrel Girl down to the beach. Squirrel Girl asks Rocket, You sure our friends will be fine on their own? Of course, Rocket replies confidently. Those jerks don't need us. Just look at how many heroes are here. As they were rushing down to the beach, Squirrel Girl and Rocket failed to notice the strange techno-organic patterns that had begun to appear on the foliage bordering one of the Krakoan gateways. What could possibly go wrong? Rocket says. I do like how they've slowly been releasing the second character chapters as the story goes on. It's not like a huge giant batch like I thought it might be. It's really neat. I hope you guys liked this chapter. It sets up the beginning of the Hellfire Gala when Ultron attacks. It's really cool. Thanks for everybody who watches. Thanks to my patrons. Thanks to everybody. Everybody. Thank you all. And I hope you all have a terrific day. Man, I am bad at outros.